We're going to be talking about the issue of your girlfriend having guy friends. And a lot of guys are opposed to this, primarily because they feel like that's like mate guarding and it's a needy position. But for me, I really think it's just a practical common sense thing. But I'm going to give you the solution to this. I'm going to talk about why it's not a good idea to have her having guy friends in the first place. Okay, and second, how you can deal with this in a way that is going to be alpha as opposed to the way that most guys deal with it, which comes across as beta and needy. If you guys are just joining me for the first time, I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique that you want, how to get the girls you want, and how to go from the victim mindset to the Bulldog mindset. If that sounds like something that you are at all interested in, click that subscribe button, click the bell to get notifications so you don't miss any of these videos. And as always, there is the Bulldog quiz that you can take right up here in the corner, also link in the description. And if you take that quiz, it will give you a score from 0 to 100 and tell you whether or not you're a Bulldog. So go check it out. All right, so we're going to look at my Instagram here. By the way, sometimes a good way to get a hold of me is to follow me on Instagram and DM me. Sometimes I'll be on my walk and I'll answer you personally via video. So so check that out. All right, let me see here if we can switch over. Okay, there, perfect. All right, so this is the question I got. He says, "Hey John, I missed the AMA, but I just wanted to ask, in your Will Smith video, you advise guys not to bring their women around other guys. If my girl says she wants to hang out with her, quote, guy friend, bad sign, I know, I agree with your advice, but if I tell my girl I don't want her hanging around this guy, would I come off as needy / insecure if I say no?" So, okay, I understand the perception here, okay, and it depends on how you do this, right? This is really the key here, guys, is that it's not about what you say. It's about how you say it, and it's about where you're coming from. So let's look at the needy approach to this, right? So let's suppose that your girlfriend wants to hang around some guy friend, and you approach this from the needy approach. In that case, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to hold on to her, okay, as opposed to pushing her away, okay? So if you're trying to hold on to something or someone, it's needy. So you come from the frame of saying, I don't want you hanging around with your guy friends because I'm afraid that you're going to hook up with them or something's going to happen, and you're coming from the frame of saying that, you know, this hurts my feelings, or I'm scared of losing you. I don't want to lose you, so I don't think it's a good idea. And you're going to probably try and make it civil and say, I don't think it's a good idea that either of us see other friends of ours of the opposite sex, because that's not good for our relationship, or something like that. But that's really communicating the message that you're afraid you're going to lose her. That is a needy message, okay? So now let's look at it from the other perspective, the other frame. Now, what if you're doing the opposite? What if you're pushing her away to some degree when you're saying this, or you're letting her go? What if you're coming from that frame of saying, you know, this is my standard, okay? And if you don't like it, I don't care. Like, go and do whatever you want to do. But I'm just telling you that I don't allow this. This is, you know, you're essentially like you're coming from a frame of saying that, almost pushing her away, almost saying, yeah, go ahead, have fun, but don't expect to come back to me, right? That is kind of saying the opposite, right? It's saying like, you know, I am not afraid to lose you. In fact, I'm not afraid to confront this head on, and I'm going to tell you, no, don't hang out with your guy friend, because I don't really care if this causes me to lose you, because I'm not coming from a scarcity mindset. I'm coming from an abundance mindset, and I only have people in my life that I want to have in my life. And so you're here because I want you here, and that's your good fortune. And if you mess this up, well, then you're going to be out. So looking at it from that perspective, what thing can you say? How can you actually word this? There's a lot of ways to word this, okay? And the wording is not so important. What is important is that frame that you're conveying, and that you're true to that frame. You should really be a guy that thinks, okay, if a girl is not meeting the standard that I have, then I don't want her. Okay, then I do want to push her away. I want her to leave if she's not meeting that standard. Now, how can you be that guy, that alpha male, that high value guy? It's about being that high value guy. It's about having abundance. It's about not being worried about losing someone. It's about not making a girl the center of your life, okay? Instead, having her be an addition to your life and having other options, okay? And if you're not a guy that has other options at this point, then what it comes down to is that you just have standards for yourself. And if someone is not going to meet those standards, you've got other things in your life. You've got your purpose, you've got your mission in life, and you're focused on that and developing yourself as a man, and you're not going to accept anything less than what you want, because clearly this is not what you want, right? Now, some guy that didn't care at all if his girlfriend saw other guys, I don't think it's a good idea. But if you had that way of thinking, then you wouldn't care. Then it wouldn't be something that you need to address. You don't need to do it just because I'm telling you, or because you think that it's some kind of alpha frame. But I will tell you, okay, to diverge a little bit from the topic, that it is really not a good idea to let your girl hang around guy friends. Not a good idea at all. So many different scenarios. We're not going to get into it, but there's so many ways that can blow up in your face, and it will eventually blow up in your face. All right, this came from that Will Smith video. If you haven't watched the Will Smith video, go watch the Will Smith video. Okay, I did a video here, kind of a quick video breaking down that whole thing. There'll be a link down below as well. And this is one of the issues that guys deal with in the Bulldog Mindset membership all the time, right? The questions like this go back and forth. And, and one of the reasons why I created the Bulldog Mindset membership, by the way, you can check that out down below, $7 to get in for the first month. I highly recommend that you take advantage of that. You can cancel if you don't like it. Hardly anyone ever cancels. But one of the reasons why I created it was to create this community so you can have someone to bounce these ideas off of, as well as, figuring out how to build a business and all kinds of benefits. Just check out the link and you can see everything it offers. But what I want to talk about real quick here is some of the actual words that you might use, because again, I'm saying all this stuff, all right, and a lot of you guys are probably nodding your head and you're agreeing and you're like, okay, yeah, what you said makes sense, John, but I still don't know what to tell her. Okay, so let's say that your girlfriend says that, he said in this case, if my girl says she wants to hang out with her, quote, guy friend, what do I say? Well, here's one thing that you could say. You could basically say this, like, look, that's not cool. And she'll say, well, what do you mean that's not cool? Like, no, I don't want you hanging out with your guy friend. It's not cool. I don't know if I told you this, but I have a standard, okay? If you're going to be my girlfriend, you hang out with other guys is just off the table. I just don't, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying, if you want to be with me, it's a non-negotiable. And then she'll complain, she'll call you a wuss. She'll say that you're, being needy or whatever, but you're willing to let it go, right? See, this is where the key is. This is where the frame is. This is why I said the words don't matter so much, is because she's going to test you anyway, and she's going to look for your vulnerabilities. She's going to look for your weaknesses. She's going to call into question your manhood, or that you're afraid, and you're just not going to respond to it. Okay? You're just going to say, I said what I said. Do what you want. That's it. You don't say anything else, because you really mean this. Okay, this is pushing her away. This is daring her to go and do it and see what happens. Okay, and you're not going to make a threat. Okay, you're just telling her that's what it is. Don't even, you're just implying this. You're implying that if she does this, then that's done. Okay, and it will be done. All right, and maybe you'll have to go through this with her, and maybe it won't be worth taking her back. Maybe you'll have to actually have the balls for her to go and hang out with her guy friend, and then for you, when she comes back, for you to say pack your shit, or to just cut communication with her, depending on whatever circumstance you're in. All right, and that's it. And you can just tell her, I told you what I said, and you did what you chose. You made your choice, and that's it. Okay, now probably she'll come crawling back to you, and you might have to decide whether you're going to keep her, or she might not come crawling back to you, in which case, hey, you just did yourself a really big fucking favor, because you just got rid of someone who was going to fucking screw you over at some point in the future, okay? Because she doesn't actually care about you. She's not actually has genuine desire for you. She doesn't have that. Otherwise, she would do what you say. What your standards would be valuable enough for her to not hang out with her guy friend, okay? Because she basically chose him over you, right? So it's always going to be a good outcome for you, as long as you're coming in with that frame. If you come in with the needy frame and you're trying to hold on to her, and that's your motive for doing it, it's not good. Your motive for doing this should be that this is your standard, honestly, and you don't want this, and you're not going to accept something that you don't want, and it's a good test, right? Like, okay, either way, you're going to win, because either she's going to pass the test and it's good and you're getting what you want, or she's going to fail the test and you're going to learn something and you're going to be able to get rid of her, because you know that she's not going to be good for you in the long run. So that's what it comes down to, guys. And you can argue till you're blue in the face, telling me, oh yeah, this is beta or whatever, and oh, you shouldn't be afraid of guy friends. But hey, look, just look at ask guys. You can. It doesn't matter how alpha you are. The problem is that if you create opportunity for a girl that you're with to cheat on you, if you make it so convenient and you're not a man who has your standards and who draws the line in the sand, it's going to happen. Even, again, Will Smith was a perfect example. Being a guy that has millions of dollars, is famous, right, has lots of status, and the shit happened to him. Now, I understand there's different circumstances there and whatnot, but the fact of the matter remains is that it did happen, and so you can't necessarily protect yourself from that. But, if you're cool with it, if you're like, hey, well, if she does, I don't care, then sure, that's fine. I can respect that viewpoint. I'm never going to share that viewpoint, but I can respect that viewpoint. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Again, if you haven't already checked out the Bulldog Mindset membership, I'd highly recommend that you do this for getting your shit right, getting your mindset right, not just on the dating and relationship stuff, although that's important, but just having the alpha mindset, right? That's what we're doing in the Bulldog Mindset is teaching men how to become alpha men in all areas of their life, okay? And in order to have success with women in dating and these type of things, and to know how to handle these situations, you have to develop yourself in the other areas, right? You have to develop the stoic mindset to be able to master your emotions. You have to be able to be a man who's successful financially, okay? Who is able to say what he wants to say, and to be a guy that takes care of himself. Discipline, physical discipline, is able to look good, right? I think these are all important parts of being a man. So make sure you check it out. And if you guys have other questions like this, let me know. I'll recommend another video for you. Again, I recommend this video a lot, but alpha males have a low tolerance for women, okay? This is a critical video for you to watch if you want to understand a little bit more of this alpha male mindset, especially in dealing with women. A very, very important skill for all men to develop. Watch that next.